Good afternoon slash evening, everyone. Welcome to another ARML winter stream, though it's starting to feel like spring in New York. I'm joined by Jackie today, and we're going to be going over this exciting A1 match. How are you doing, Jackie?
Yeah, obviously I'm chuffed see the other extreme of the AML scene. Last time I was coming to C1 and it was real chaos. So we are gonna have a look at how A1 approaches things, and surely we
Eh,
will both learn a lot from them as well as the fans who are watching our stream today.
Absolutely. We're going to start in just about a minute now. Looks like we have Korak, Zilong, Will, and Matthew at this table, with Zilong as our first dealer. Currently, Matthew's in the elimination range, but it's only midway through the season. And what a hand for the dealer over here, already starting with a potential for Sananko or Suanko, the Yakuhai Anko of Hatsu. It's looking good.
It
Dora is
does
the
look
West,
extremely
and
well.
absolutely, this is a very explosive dealer Mongon chance here right off the bat. It's a very easy to call hand as well.
Hmm.
Looking
Yeah,
around the table, I think maybe Korak can put an end to it, but it's a little bit slow.
yeah. I mean, speaking of the speed, Max's hand is already on a pretty good Ishan right now. But just as we are saying, Zilong gets another 6 soul. It's Ranko Ishan.
Very
Home.
fast there, and we're probably going to see a pawn here from Korak.
Mhm.
Likes taking the
Home.
fast hands, has the chance to get two Dora. And there's
Yeah,
Tempai,
Senpai for Hatsu Toi Toi with should be 7,700.
and on a sumo, that'd be a Mangan because you also get Sananko. So giant hand to go super early, and the
Of
8
course.
so is partial Kabe now. Though both players that have the 8 so can use it easily, and unfortunately the 4 mons are gone too. So unless
Chi.
Oh
we
yeah, that
see
bomber might come out.
Korak, uh, I,
It might.
yeah, I
Oh
think
yeah, it
One.
one
does.
mon.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that might have been a slight error there. I think the one mon is slightly better since you don't have a chance at Chanta anywhere, and there's a slight chance at a
I
2-3-4
yeah,
Sancho
fair
too.
enough. Fair enough, but like you have to think about like what happens if, let's say, the dealer can become so explosive that you have to fold, right? Keeping them one man later on might avoid dealing in later.
It could. There's no guarantee it's safe as it's a toy though. In either way, very, very fast hand for the dealer. We go into a quick repeat over here. This hand, a little bit less lackluster, a little bit more lackluster. We have access to the Dora, potentially a closed Pinfu or, well, 1-2-3 or 2-3-4 Sanshoku, but a lot of work. On the other hand, it looks like Matthew has a fairly quick hand with the Yakuhai and most of the blocks established.
Hmm.
And, Korak's Ishanten as well, but it's a cheap, oh, sorry, that's two Shanten. I misread the Pinzu, but it can go into a Tanyao Dora 1, but the Kanchan weights are quite bad right now. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of huge value around the table just yet.
Hmm.
We saw that Korak has discarded this pair of 9-pin, could have kept it and cut, for example, the 7-mon or one of the Kanchan shapes to prioritize the 6-7-mon Renmen, but is looking to call these Kanchans now because even if he has one Renmen, keeping two Kanchans is still quite slow if you can't call. And getting into the second row now, it seems like unless you call, that hand's not going to complete very easily.
Hmm.
Decent draw over on the left for Will. Yes, for
Yeah.
Will. Is I need to check the spreadsheet for a second. I don't. Is Will Viet? Okay, yeah, they're right next to each other in the standings. I think there's a slight error over here that's confusing me for a second. But I believe Will M should be Viet, and judging by the username. Also reminds me I should pull up the stream chat. Well, a lot slower start to this hand, but here we go. Chance to Chi over here. Having a long think on this one. If we do see a Chi from Matthew, it's going to be a cheap hand, which is not necessarily a bad thing this late.
Yeah, the
But
problem is that
instead,
if you treat it's still Yishan turn. Either way, it doesn't give you like a shortcut to Tenpai.
that's true. It is a better Ishanten, though, I believe. I think you have a Kutsuki Ishanten with 3 middle tiles. Um, but here we go. So I would kind of call it a shortcut to Tenpai, especially since you'll then just open on whatever next chi you have and have pretty much guaranteed good shapes around the Sozu. But it's very
Mhm.
cheap, so I think passing the Roundman chi is okay. Maybe if more of the 3/6 mon were out, we'd consider taking it.
Yeah, and also has a transfer 456 Central Crew right now for Maisu here. Like when you're in down, need points being the demotion zone. Now Tenpai here stamps the button for 4/7 so Nobe-tan for
Yeah.
$1.
This is a weight where the 7 so looks pretty good, even though Sozu is expensive on the board, just because you see all of the 9 sos. Um, the chance of a run here is pretty low, but aiming for the Mangan Sumo, this is a good Richi.
Of course, and for still in the wall though, so there's a pretty good damn chance of getting a Tsumo here. Here, the dealer might chase it. Okay,
Uh,
does try to fish for the Genbutsu 9 pin, but it's all out. 6 pin 1
oh
left in the
yeah,
wall.
so yeah, 6 pin is Nakasuji, so we might see someone try to push it if they don't want to drop Sozu.
Yeah,
Maybe not in this
and
case though. It looks like the
oh,
others
the
can
7 soul
fold.
might come out. Or he might fold. It's A1, who knows. But
I think two
we had
pin
also 10
maybe.
for 1 man here. Not yet, not yet, sorry. But the dealer decides to fold. Nice choice then, seeing that 7 soul is dangerous in itself. Okay,
Oh,
now
and in
we
a
had fun. I mean, we had finally 10 pi for 3 soul here. No Yaku, but
yeah,
that's will guarantee the stick.
it's a fairly safe entry into Tenpai as well, pawning and cutting the Suji once cut 1 mon.
Yeah. Now there's a tiny
And now
upgrade.
yes, it's a Tanya upgrade, and it also allows Viet to skip their draw so that they don't draw anything more dangerous than the 3 so. But this is a bad draw. The 5 so is entirely live here, so we're probably going to see a fold with a 2,
Yeah,
3, or 4 pin.
yeah. Maybe not like the with the 2 soul
Ah, 8
being
so.
non-safe, but still. We
So we
have
saw a
Matthew
push of the
and
8
Viet.
so. I think that push was quite bold given how few Dora there were and how live the Sosa was, but maybe there's something I missed.
I think the probable reason is that 2 soul was discarded and maybe he can see like quite a few 7 souls out there. But who
I
knows?
might have just missed that then. All the 9 so were gone, so the Penchon chance is gone, but the Round Man was still live, I believe. Yeah. The value of K10 can be uh, it's quite good in Akanashi because so 1,000 is a lot more significant than in Akari. That being said, uh, dealing into a Richi with not many Dora visible is still, yeah, it's still quite bad. I could be convinced to push that 8 so if I saw a little bit more reason for safety around it. But
Hmm.
who knows? I'm not a Mahjong AI. I don't know what the computer would say about that one.
Oh yeah. So the Haku might be pawned by correct. Does get pawned by correct. Can't discard the draw for Tenpai and does so for Hatsunomi. I mean Hakunomi.
Yeah, pretty cheap hand here, but with the other Haku already gone, you can't really pass this one and expect to complete it easily.
Hmm.
Looks like Matthew, as dealer, is aiming for a 3-4-5 Sanshoku, has been keeping this 5-pin around instead of a safe tile. So trying to move the value of the hand up from just a pinfu.
Yeah,
But
maybe
could go
maybe not
for a
now.
Tanya chance. Yeah.
But
Oh, this is
if he's
interesting
lucky, then
because
2C4 might still be alive.
yeah, this is interesting because in a case that there was another 1-pin gone, you might even consider something like a 2-pin cut. But I think the fact that this has the Tanya potential pushes us towards getting rid of the Wests.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree with you.
All right, Korak changes weights to a Kanchan 5-pin. Oh yeah, that would, I think that this Kanchan over here, you probably think both
Oh
Kanchan
yeah,
are quite bad, but the 6-pin can upgrade.
yeah. Speak of the upgrade, nah, not needed. Casually, it's almost a
Not needed.
Hakunomi hand. 300, 500. As we move on to E3.
Door is the 8 so. Dealer starts with pretty good shapes over here. Already has 4 Rion Mens.
Mm-hmm.
Pair should be easy to find, maybe even Dorotanki. And then, oh, is that 5 pairs over on the right? Ishanten for Chitoe from the High Pai.
This is Ishanten for Chitoe. But the dealer also has a pretty fast hand here. The full soul draw is absolutely doing marvelous.
Yeah, already 2 Shanten with a very, very wide Ukeiri.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like Viet is just making decisions for potential pairs in the future.
Absolutely.
Keeping
And
the 9 mon.
now, alright, what will he do?
This is tricky because it's the Dora,
Yeah, decides
and
to not the three so
if
I
you
mean decides to not sleeping pair for now, but Matthew here gets the Chitoy Tenpai for 9 soul for Chitoy Nomi for now. Ura 2 will be huge.
a chance to chi here for Tenpai as Korak,
Yeah.
but does he want to
But you
shove
still
the
have to discard the
Dora?
Dora, and does so.
Yeah, against such an early Ricci with strange discards,
It
it's
might be
really hard to say
Kokushi.
what it is. I think a lot of people have these superstitions that early
Okay, that 4-man deals into
reaches,
Korra here.
yeah,
And
takes
does
the
get the 4-5-6
Sanshoku.
Senshoku as well. The Takame deal in.
Yeah, there's this superstition I've heard from a few people that early Richis are much more likely to be 7 pairs, and not entirely sure why people think that, other than the fact that, with an early Ricci, the weight can be quite crazy sometimes. Um, so from those 3 discards before the Ricci, if you imagine, say, a row 2 Ricci with discards like that, you could say, that's probably Chitoid, so disjointed, or Kokshi. But
Yeah.
with only 3 gone, even though it's middle tiles, Korak doesn't really have a lot of information, so just taking the good shape dealer tempo, even if it means dealing the Dora, seems okay.
Yeah, like Korra knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and this is a very early chi for Korak, aiming for Junchan Dora 1
Mm-hmm.
with a potential Sanshoku, or guaranteed Sanshoku if you can get the 9 mon.
Yep. Okay, Maisu does get the 3-man here. Probably can just go for Sancho Dora 1 here. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, in this case,
Yeah,
yeah, if you
it
pair up
depends
1
on.
pin, 9 pin, that's quite nice.
Yeah. Okay, 7-pin, still decent. Others like I think it's mainly a race between. Oh, that 7-man deals in instantly to Maisu. You can't resist that.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was just a very natural deal in there.
Hmm. Like, it's just unfortunate in that like it's not that Korra played badly or so. It's just that that 9-man pairs up perfectly with the 778 shape, and then he has to make a
Yeah,
decision. Double tone pair for the
y-
dealer here. Weird. Let's get the double tone pair for now. Can transition into Hongsu if everything goes right.
yeah. I think in the case that we're drawing the 4-7 so here, then we're not going to see Honitsu. But if it
No,
happens
no, no,
early
no, no, no,
enough,
no, no,
you
no,
can
no, no.
buy.
No,
Yeah,
with the
if it
four
happens
seven so.
early enough, we could see a transition if we draw a lot of Manzu. But I think knowing how uh, Viet tends to play, that we're probably just going to see the fast tempai here, aiming
Yeah,
for a
I
repeat.
agree. I think that is the correct route as well. You don't have to jump for Hongsu when you can get like a safe and secure 4,000 point at least, and then hope for the best. Where you have the format which has some connectivity with Dora as well to inflate your hand value.
Yeah, there's even some worlds where we manage to shift to a Sanshoku, though it's obviously requires a great deal of luck. And now you're
Yeah,
not going to get that, but this is a good Ishanten.
it is a decent Yishan 10 to say the least.
Let's look at what other people have. It seems like there's Ishanten over on the right as well.
Yeah.
Appears like Zeolong has Kanchan, Ryunmin, Ishanten for a potential Richi Pinfu, though on the 8 pin it's a Richi Nomi hand.
Hmm.
Sorry, on the 8 pin weight. So if you fill
Yeah,
the
yeah,
2
yeah,
5, so
yeah.
never
Can
mind.
discard the 7-9 pin here
Yeah,
to
very
connect
good
with Dora as
upgrade.
well. So now it is a legion pin for Dora 1 at least. If he does get that. Speaking of getting something, Viet is already tempai for 2-5 pin for double tone.
This is funny. On a 5 pin sumo, the fu goes up here because you can count the 5 pin as a tanki. So you'd get 8 fu for the west and the east pawns, 2 for the sumo and 2 for the tanki on the 5 pin. But if you
Yeah,
get the 2 pin, it never goes up in fu.
yeah, that's correct. Chooses not to believe in the 2-5 pin, but rather the 5-8. So here, might be because he discarded 2 so earlier, so it probably easier to come out.
It's
Ah, it's the
unfortunate.
backfire here.
I think what I saw there is with the 2 5 pin, the easier get side, the 2 pin is already once gone, whereas with the 5-8 so the 8 so is still more alive, so you expect it to be
Of
a little
course,
bit easier to get,
still four in the wall, so
especially
plenty of
yeah.
chances.
And there is one. It's going to come out naturally, unless
It might be.
Quark decides to work around here.
It does choose to walk around, but never mind. Get the 5 so with the full bump you're talking about, yeah, 1300 off, and then the continued dealership.
The things are still really even here in East 4. A lot of relatively cheap wins, and I think it's going to come down to whoever can get the first Mongan. And if you can do that going into the South round, you're in pretty good shape.
Absolutely. But
Well, looks
across the
like we
table,
have
you can't see
another
a lot of
couple.
hand with like insane value stuff like that. I don't think it's that easy to cook, especially when you have a lot of able players surrounding you, trying to beat you to it.
Absolutely. And Korak and Matthew both have incentive to just take the first pawn of the Yakuhai. And I can imagine if we see a pawn from, I was going to say a pawn from Matthew of the Chun, then the Tonwood pawn would come out and get pawned after, but it seems it
Yeah, and
happened in the
Haku
reverse
might come
order.
out sooner or later as well.
Yes.
Alright, Ishanten.
I'd probably see a 9 pin discard over here.
Yeah,
Um, maybe keep upgrades around the 7-mon, but decides against it, maybe looking for an Itsu.
it might well be the
I think I,
case.
I I think I slightly prefer to just keep the 7-mon because it gives you Dora acceptance.
Yeah, it gives a bit, but like not needed now as we had discussed the 9 pin owns the Haku
Yeah.
for Tenpai here for 7-pin punch on weight. Has a great
Now,
upgrade potential around the 3456 as
yeah,
well.
yeah, don't think that Viet is done here. I think we'll easily see a Chi if a 2,
Mm.
5 pin or 4 pin comes out, because that
Yeah,
instantly
it's
upgrades the shape.
fascinating to see that none of the Dora has been drawn yet. Like all of the
That's
five
true.
five mines are still in the wall. Yeah, the 7-pin comes out. Okay, the first 5 mine being drawn by Korak.
And Korak can use it. You'd have to give up a
Yeah,
safe tile or drop the 8 mon.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and
Can
now
discuss
dropping
3
the
mon now.
3 mon here. Yeah, gives the
2
guaranteed
is no
usage,
2,
but
that's
it
fine.
looks like, yeah, Korak seems to be looking for the better weight.
Yeah,
That
I
being said,
mean,
with 2 9-mons out, I might just take the Ryankun instead.
I mean, discuss the 9-man, discuss the chance of 9-man altogether. It's not a big
Yeah,
deal.
not
Okay,
interested in
does get
dropping the
the Dora
Dora.
pair. Now the hand is getting a little bit spicy.
Hmm. This is borderline, but for me, I like discarding the 3 pin there. I think the Nakasuji is maybe slightly more effective on the 6 pin Champon, and at least if I'm reading it, it looks like
Oh
the
yeah,
middle
that's
pins
so
are
so
cheap
that's
enough.
still into Viet again for Hakunomi, but surely there'll be some more explosive hands to come. I'm hoping for it. Oh sweet!
Oh, Mochi Mochi from the
This
very
is
start. That
this is what we call
yeah.
good hand. It's already Ishan turn and with the Liamen weight as well.
That being said, if a Champon is reached, this will be interesting because if Matthew decides to push, that Haku is probably not going to come out. But if Matthew folds and runs out of other honors, the Haku pair drop might deal into a Champon. That being
Now
said,
is
looks like we
Tenpai.
got a.
Might go for it.
It's an early Ricci, but it's Ricci Dora 1 as dealer. It's usually a textbook Ricci.
Each.
Yeah, does go for it. Nice one. Also, contra sweeping, but still 2 left in the wall.
And there's that Haku pair drop we're talking about, but wrong weight to run it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Would you consider that 6-man draw as a kind of like a backfire, like basically not keeping the core possibility just for the sake of a
Yeah,
punch on? Like, do you think that it's a backfire, or do you think that the early leash is justified?
I think the early reach is justified, but say you didn't take this Ricci, I think the proper move would be to cut 2 pin. You keep the 6, 7, 7, 8, and the 4
Yeah,
pin because you have the chance to upgrade the shapes in many ways, even
of
except
course,
another Dora.
of course.
And I think that's probably what Viet was thinking about for a while. On turn 3, it's still early enough that you could hope to upgrade fairly easily. There was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 different types of tiles that change up the hand in interesting ways with just one step, versus only 4 tiles to sumo. But this dealer Ricci definitely puts a lot of pressure on people. I
It
could see
does.
non-dealer. I could see non-dealer easily breaking a turn 3 tempai like that, unless it was a situation where they're already in the lead and they can just win anything to move things along.
Absolutely. Like, I also do think that the early leash is a good option to make, just because you exert that pressure to, like, at the early stage of the game when many players are still even maybe 2 shunting or something, and they look around the table seeing that dealer is tempo already, and a natural A1 player would probably think that, oh yeah, this is not something I can contest, even with like even with like a really good hand.
That being said, there's a lot of information out now, but it's very funny that not a single Pinzu has been discarded by
Yeah, that's
anyone.
all. That's the discipline we've been talking about. Like when the players are folding, they just tend to drop the safest tail possible. I think that's good discipline being shown here. Speaking of, with Korra, it's each on turn each two already.
Yeah, Korak has the option to safely drop the 5 mana. The Tuso is going to be the push here. It's a one chance tile, but it's an early Ricci, which increases the chance of like strange stuff going on. And it's also late in the game, so it's hard to say. But here is
Mhm.
a Tenpai for Korak. It's a Yakules 4-pin Kanchan. North passes.
Yeah,
It looks
but
like
still
we're going to have a
Tenpai.
draw.
Yeah, I pawn the 5 pin 5 for Tenpai here. Decides not to because you have to discard the 1 pin, which is kind of dangerous to be fair.
Yeah, all of the Pinzu, other than 7-pin, looked quite bad. So, two people Tenpai, we go into one repeat, and there's another Haku pair in the dealer's starting hand.
Yeah,
Uh, it looks like it's 3 Shanten as is. And looking around the table, nothing too exciting from anyone. Maybe a 2-3-4 Sanchoku on the left with the Dora 1, but everyone's hand, other than the dealer who can call, looks relatively mediocre.
and that's fair enough. Uh, isn't the art of Mahjong like creating something extraordinary from ordinary, like what we've seen in the C1 table recently?
Of course, and in Akanashi, where we don't have the red 5s for extra value, we often see people taking longer paths to Tenpai in order to create points and hand Yaku. Um,
Absolutely.
so, uh, that being said, I feel like a lot of the American Ricci meta is based on speed, so we see a lot of people just playing pure efficiency, but when I see people winning 1,000-point hands over and over, I can't wonder if there's just some wasted potential in the hands they could have won instead.
Hmm.
And a lot of these A1 players understand that and prioritize chances to upgrade in value. And they have a
Yeah,
very good balance of when to go for speed instead.
yeah, that's true.
It's very much a case of know the rules so you can break them. Everyone knows that tile efficiency is the basis of mahjong, but knowing when to discard that theory and instead go for higher expected values is really experience driven unless you're
Hmm.
the type of person like Viet is who would memorize statistics on these things.
Yeah, I mean, statistics has been increasingly prominent in the field of Mahjong because it is, you can consider that as like a permutation combination thinking, you know,
Yeah,
like trying
it's a
to get,
very
yeah, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say it's a very effective theory for online mahjong, especially since the data is coming from primarily whole table
Hmm.
haifus.
Yeah, speak
It's
of,
yeah.
yeah, so
Wait,
we
go
have
ahead.
we have a lychee from, who's that, Zelong for 7 pin Penchan Tenpai for lychee Nomi. Not what you
Hmm.
see from a conventional A1 player, but I think this is just a move to get the players like get the players to encourage them to fold in a sense.
Yeah, it could be that. This is normally a Ricci. I wouldn't take the one thing that it has going for it is that um, Zheilong's pond is quite strong. You don't see very much info, so it's hard for people to kind of work around their hand. That being said, being in the middle of the second row and with no
Hmm.
Dora showing, it's quite scary if someone does decide to push against you because they almost guaranteed have better value
Yeah,
and better weight
yeah.
at that point.
Of course. Speaking of better way, Korra is also Ishanten here. Has a chance to get a lychee pin for Dora one, Takame Dora two. When now Matthew does push for it for the
And
six
this is
pin 17
interesting
sample.
because
Yes.
yeah, because the 7-pin is suited to both, but it would be
Oh
too
yeah,
late.
it's a double wrong here. Ipatsu to Korak as well.
And unfortunately, Korak is gonna have the better side here. I forgot the double run was on. I've been playing so much of Tamahane recently.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's gonna be a big deal and for Viet. Looked for the Suji to both and unfortunately paid for it. And that's our first big swing of the game. We have a clear fight for first and fight for last now.
Of course.
37,100
Yeah,
is a lead that Viet, sorry, not Viet, Zilong is going to look to expand in this dealership with the Hatsadora is all in the wall.
yeah. The, let's just go back to what we were talking about mm,
Yeah,
in the statistics of things. Like most of the statistics you get from Mahjong is basically like a result of the what we call meta heuristics from like a handful, like a lot of real life mahjong players, and then we did, for example, we deduced that, oh yeah, the chance of a 10 hole is a 1 in 300,000, something like that. That is not from like actual basically running a computer program and look for any possibility. It's just the the workload would just be endless. Instead, what we do is that we basically garnish like a lot of like real life plays and then see how many 10 holes we get out of it. And then we ended up with a probability that's really similar to what the actual result is.
yeah. And one interesting thing to note is I think at this point we still have the vast majority of statistics coming from Tenho.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of the Mahjong AI are based off of. They all play there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's interesting because the meta on Tenho is a very last avoidant strategy, especially in the higher level rooms, and people can get quite aggressive. And it's
Yes.
hard to say how that compares to other rule sets, such as like JPMLA, where there's no Akadora, no Ipatsu, no Uradora. You play very differently. But in the
Yeah.
end,
Of course.
the basics apply to almost every rule set.
Yeah. That is true. Whereas speaking of the rule set, in this rule set, we can see that Zhelong has already got another really good tempai here. Not not hard to speak of, but can really easily pair one. Or can just, for example, just get a, complete the sequence and then easily discuss something for like a quick tempo or so. Whereas
Yeah.
whereas we have Master already tempai for 5 ping.
This is gonna be another cheap win here, but
Yeah,
there is now a
but
chance to shift into Sanshoku.
of course the Senshoku shift here.
Now this is interesting because if Zilong gets, say, a 369 pin, they can discard the 5 pin and 7 pin in order to move towards Pinfu,
Hmm.
but that would mean dealing in to this Nakasuji Kanchan.
That is true. Correct. Already has
Oh, there's
also has a
Ish.
really comfortable
Yeah.
Ishan turn here. Has a really wide
Yeah,
weight as
drawing the
well.
2-mon or the 4-mon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can also
drawing
progress
the
to
3-mon gives you Ipeiko.
yeah. If 2 or 4 man
Two
dancers,
mon, four
that's a
mon.
Sanko, eh?
Yeah, and
If
that
two or
would be a Dama
if
here,
Kura
I
gets
think.
2 or 4 man. So
Yeah,
2 man is dead
we
and
could
4 man
even
is dead.
say,
That's the only problem.
yeah, maybe if there was the chance to pawn one, but yeah,
Yeah,
as you
we had
said, they're
Tenpai here.
both gone,
Tayo no
even though he
me for
doesn't know
2
it.
4 ping. 2 ping does come out and Zilong steal the ship. And we can see Red Pagan getting out of 4th place.
Oh, here we go in South 2, doors the 8-mon. Looks like no one has any of that either. Dealer has a fast callable hand here with potential to pair up other Yakuhai. Maybe a 4-5-6 Sanchoku over on the left. Sorry, on the right. And
Hmm.
a really decent hand for Viet in this round. You could see that being a fast Ricci.
Yeah, the shape is basically there. Yeah, the foundation of the 4-5-6 Sensoku is also appearing in Korak's hand. I decides to cut the 9 ping pair just to lock in all of the sequences.
Oh, I can see that. Korak is looking for value here. He's going for the 4-5-6 Sanchoku. He's keeping the double non chance. He's keeping the Penchon because he can use the Dora. He's thinking about how to get this hand to a Mangan if possible.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But isn't the like forgive me if I'm wrong, but like isn't the shortcut to manga just a quick con, like a diamond con something, and you flip door 4?
Oh yeah, that'd be really nice. We all love a good con into Dora 4 to scare the table. And one thing players try to keep in mind, say they're aiming for a manga, is to look for 3 Han, because if you can reach you with 3 Han, uh, as soon as you sumo, unless it's pin fill,
Yeah,
you're guaranteed a mangan.
yeah, that's the point.
Um,
As you can see, Koa's trying to get that central Kudura 1 here, whereas the dealer is also
Boom.
waiting for maybe a lemon like a really like has a pretty decent chance to get into Senpai as well. Eric, I mean,
yeah,
but Korra senses the
and
danger. He just wants to end this as soon as possible. Where
リーチ
Dealer's Senpai here falls can't translate so for the Ichichun.
this is really unfortunate because Korak is in a case where he's going to go for Tanya and he's going to take an 8-man Tanki. So unless he draws the 4-so and somehow finds the 6-so to be safer, the
Mm-hmm.
3-so is fairly likely to come out.
That's fair enough.
It's very hard for him to
No.
fold
It
here.
does come out
Yeah.
instantly, but like it's good that he didn't do it in Katsu. No Ura as well, so Korra has a chance to fight back.
I got excited for a second because it looked like the 8-pin Uro was relevant, but that was the pawn that Korak made. Well, these hands are a little bit faster than last time. We can see a bunch of roundman shapes and completed Mentsu all around the table, or opportunities to call in the case of the dealer and Zilong.
Yeah.
Could turn out to be a
Also,
fast
Zelon
battle
has a
here.
pretty decent hand with the trim pair to shut the table out. As you can see,
Yeah,
Korra has an isolated red dragon waiting to be disposed at any second. Now
yeah, and
Ishan turn for
being
Zelon.
in first, yeah, being in first place, Zilong doesn't care about dropping the door acceptance to the 7-pin, uh, and advancing straight to a tempai, even if it'll be cheap, because Zilong just needs to move things along. Doesn't have a dealership left to worry about getting a big penalty from a sumo
Yeah, at
on.
this
So
point, you
just
just want to basically cut everyone's hand, keep them below 30k, and then take the loot.
yeah, and here we're probably going to see an 8-so cut.
Hmm.
At Tempai, if you reach it
Boom.
with the Shampon, it's quite good. But here's Tempai,
Yeah,
1-4 pin.
yeah. The tune does come out, giving Zelon a quick route to Tenpai for Nomi, but that's what it takes to basically progress the hand, right? Like you don't have to worry about a lot more.
Yeah. Speak of hands, the dealer has another
Yeah, the one
Sananko
pin might come out
Yushanten.
from Korra and right now. The one pin might come out from Korra right now.
I think Korak has some slight
No.
incentive to
Yeah,
keep the
yeah, Dora,
yeah,
obviously. He decides to cut the 4 pin.
yeah. So that's gonna move things along really fast into South 3.
Yeah.
Not much of a change here. Currently, all 3 players are under 30,000, which is great for Zilong, because that's the best Uma you can get as first place. But that can
Of
very
course.
easily change because
Yeah, but Messi's hand is not very kind to him. Like he needs to get a lot of the work done if he does want to win this hand. Whereas Korra's hand is much better with the nine pair here and the 7-so triplet.
yeah, the 5-7-7-9 shape is very good for making pairs if you draw a 5-6-8 or a 9. So you can see this non-pawn being very easy.
Yeah, especially when you
That's
want
a,
to use that 9 pair to pawn it out as a triplet. You need to find another pair
yeah.
elsewhere.
I could even see a transition into Tanyao here. That really depends on what comes first.
Yeah,
Say
but
you draw 3 mana, I could easily
speaking of
see 9.
transition,
So
we might be going for Chantao even Zhongchen.
yeah, Viet is um not really able to use more than one Dora with that hand. So aiming for a more expensive hand Yaku seems like a good idea there. And if you can get a Ricci on top of that, you're in business.
Mm-hmm. Also
And
draw
here
for
I
the
can see
dealer.
9 Sobing. Yeah, so there's a double purpose of this 9 so is one to shift towards Tanyao. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you pawn the south, you can cut one of the bad shapes and eventually slim down the 7 so uncle if you need a pair.
Yeah, that is obviously the plan. Here we might see a 2-4 pin card. Yeah, let's go for it.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping the 4 pin for the possibility of coming back to 4-5-6 Sanshoku, whereas you would cut the 4 pin first if you wanted this slightly more safety.
I mean, I like the 2 pin card over 4 pin for the precise reason you mentioned of the central possibility. Yeah, comes
Oh, there
back.
we go.
Yeah, can discard the double 9 pair for Tanya as well. Tanya central could do the one.
It's a very nice and easy to call hand. Oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna take the Ishanten now.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to drop the door, so the 4-6 pin's gonna go after all.
Mm-hmm.
Each.
Now, I think, on average, you're going to hit Tenpai a little bit faster getting rid of the 4 mana for 2 reasons. The first being that obviously there's another 5 mon left. Just before I go any further, good Ricci on the right for Ricci Pinfu on the 5-8
Not
so.
door just yet. Not door just yet, but I'm gonna go a bit occult here and say that there are still 3 8 pin in the one. One of them might be the Ura indicator. Okay. Fuck me. Fuck.
Well, it was an interesting theory while it lasted, but Korak is working around now and has a good Ishan 10 with Ryanmen plus Shampon,
Chi.
and takes
Yeah,
the
but
Chi
still
5-8
correct.
man.
Tempai for 5-8 man for $9 one.
2 left in the wall versus the 5
That's
so 8
8.
so, which is
So
more
it
left
does
in the
come
wall.
out.
And the worst thing for Korak is he has the triplet of the 7 so he goes, oh, one chance, and just pushes it, and in it goes. And
Yeah.
that's gonna put Korak in last place.
Yeah, and the real good thing for Zedong is that everyone still is below 30k at the moment. So like he can just win like a really cheap hand to keep them below the surface, and he can take all of the Uma diagrams.
And it looks like Viet has a hand that could put up a little bit of a fight as dealer, go for a fast Richidora 1. Um, draw something around the 3 pin and you're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But oh man, there's another 7 mon draw for Zilong, and while his hand is not fantastic, he doesn't need anything but a Nomite to end it.
Yeah, like he can just basically pair something around the Dora, basically slam the button or even go for Tan Yao ship.
Matthew kind of has the chance to contest first place here, is going for a Honitsu. Keeping
Yeah,
the Dora for now. If you pair that Dora up, then it's worth the same as Honitsu. Could go for 7 pairs or a cold hand.
of course, yeah. Once if you get the Dora pair, you don't need to consider Honitsu if you're gonna open your hand anyways.
See if this 4 so actually helps or not. Pawns it.
Yeah, that's choose to pawn it.
It does kind of break some of the nicer shapes you have, but I don't think it's the worst if you're planning to pawn the other things.
Yeah, I mean it's still Ishanten though. You have a clear route to like basically aim for the maybe even a Tui upgrade.
Yeah, that could be the thought, because the pawn, the 4 so pawn, I don't think it actually did very much. But after the 5 so pawn, we can see that value bump you're talking about. That would bring it up to a Mangan.
Yeah. So for now, it is if it's a 2 more, it will be 5200. If it's around 39, but either way, it's gonna be about 30k.
Now it's trouble for Viet if he draws the 3 so or the 9 mon, but hopefully he's looking for the
Now the question
1
is,
4 so
if
8.
a 9 so comes out, somehow, or he draws the 9 soul, will he be going for the tanky rate?
I think that would be a fairly good idea, and I actually like with the 4 and the 5 so pawn going for a 3-mon tanki. Sorry, 3 so tanki, but in this case it would be almost dead. Ah, okay, so this Haku, I'm not sure why we're keeping the Haku here, unless the idea is to work around all the Sosu.
I think Viet is folding. Like he does sense
Ah,
that
yeah,
neither oh yeah, 22 upgrade. Yeah, he does sense that
nice.
neither Sozu are safe. So like rather than basically just choosing one and go for the Russian roulette route, just decides to fold it and see if he can get anything around the Sozu to make sure that he basically can progress his hand without discarding any of them.
That being said, I think the hand is over unless you go for Chitoy because the 4 so is dead and the 1 so is almost dead.
Hmm. Yeah, so a sumo will mean that a sumo for Maisu will mean that he will be instantly first place.
Yeah.
Each.
Okay, the leash state might also help as well. Yeah, the leash state will help as well.
It's a very good weight. It's 14736 mon.
Yeah,
That's instantly
yeah,
going to come out from Matthew if he
yeah.
draws it.
Like if
No.
oh, that will be tie.
Oh,
That will
that's
be tie
rough.
point. So basically, both Zerlong and Matthew will be on 38,400 points. I was just about to ask that if when they are on the same number of points, that will we split the dope? I mean, will we split the Uma in ALML? Yeah, so
Yes.
both
So
player get plus
that
18.4A.
yeah, it ends up
Yeah, the leash
balancing out
state
the
does
Uma a
help a
little bit.
lot for Matthew. Like basically splits the Uma between Zerlong and him.
Yeah, very nice hand there. Unfortunately, despite being such an incredible weight, a lot of Korax tiles were held, and that's just how Mahjong works out sometimes.
Yeah, that's why we love Mahjong, eh? The uncertainty and the unpredictability that it brings.
So I think someone in the chat is saying that might be a reason you don't reach it, but I think in last place you don't care if there's a tie. You just want to go for the points and get out of last place, maybe even go above 30k. So I think
Yeah,
Korax
I
reaching is
absolutely
probably
agree.
fine.
Like it's when you're fourth place, like it can't you can't get any worse than maybe just losing maybe a few points. But if you move
Yeah.
up a place, that's an instant 10 point addition
Yeah,
at
if you
least.
think about it, with the amount of Sosu that were pawned and the quality of your own weight as Korak, you have a good advantage against that Honitsu. Um, you're waiting on a ton more tiles than they can possibly wait for, and they're all tiles they can't use, so they'll come out instantly. Anyways, we're probably going to go into the next match in another 5 minutes or so. Doesn't look like there's going to be any huge differences to the standings from that. Korak's going to fall a little closer. Actually, Korak is going to just fall straight into demotion. That's my bad, but he's right on the edge of it. Matthew's going to go up a tiny bit. Not enough to make a difference yet, but plenty of hands left. And it looks like Viet and Zalong are going to take comfortable positive points and remain in the safe zone.
Yeah.
All right, we are figuring out what's going on now. Few technical difficulties. Hopefully we figure that out quickly. Please bear with us.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
out.
take a quick break here and then figure this out and move on to the next game when that starts.
Yeah.
ポン
All right, everyone. Thanks for waiting. We're here in East 1 of the second game, and it looks like Viet is our
ポン
first dealer. Whereas the Yaku, he has a pair, and he's just pawned a Yakuhai Hatsu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it may well
I could...
be.
Yeah,
Dora 2
this
as
could
well.
be Honitsu.
Yeah, Dora
Yeah,
2 as
yeah.
well.
However, I think with the fact that it's Dora 2 and there's the chance to pawn the Haku, that we'll probably just see efficient play from Viet. The minimum points for this hand is 5,800, which is pretty significant as the dealer.
カン
I could
Yeah,
see a
Mike
con
Condas choose to go
here.
for it. That will get rewarded.
Okay, and we're almost certainly going to see a north cut here.
Maybe five.
Uh,
Maybe
the
five. So
chance to draw. Yeah, okay, that works out. Yeah, the chance to draw the Dora 6 mon is another way to bump this up to a Mangan.
yeah.
I I'm the type of player here where if I'm playing against strong players, I might just do the north and aim for Ranmin and other suits because I don't want the player on my left to Shibori to uh deny me things like the 6-pin chi by being
チ
too obvious. But here we go. Easy
Mm,
chi. Now the choice between the 8-pin and the 5-pin, you keep the 5-pin slightly higher chance of upgrading back to Honitsu, but
yeah, can be a Chanta.
yeah, could be a Chanta for the Mangan as well. I have to get
Yeah,
one of those last two 1-pins.
yeah. That one pin may well come up from correct. After all.
So interesting, Matthew took the first, the pawn of the Ton, but is unwilling to call the 4-mon Kanchan,
Mm-hmm.
possibly too hesitant about pushing into a nasty dealer hand with what the Dora is and the kind of strong discards that Viet's been making.
Yeah. Fair enough. Decides to cut the 8 pin to 4th for now. See how he can make it out. And the instant backfire for Viet not believing in the heart of Hongli too.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there, but here's Tenpai.
Nah, not needed. So that one pin might come out from Matthew anytime, like judging by the circumstances. Like if
Yeah.
he does want to push for
I,
it, it might come out
this
now.
might help
Not now
convince.
though. Yeah,
Okay,
not
goes for
yet.
the Suchi. I think the problem here is that there's the Furitan 2-5 so.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew showed very clearly that he didn't want to continue pushing when he started to break the hand like that. The first 5 so, we have the chance to recover. After the second one cut from the hand, though, it's a pretty clear fold, which is why I'm kind of surprised that the 2-pin came out. Um,
I mean,
uh,
2 pin is a Suji.
it passed. It passed. I think it passed before that too from
Yeah, yeah,
Zilong.
yeah.
But I wasn't paying close enough
这种
attention.
没得 pass。
Oh, is
Yeah.
it? So Matt, yeah, Matthews
So
might have
there's
come
one
out
4
first,
pin
which
still
is
left in the wall here.
yeah, single tile left. It doesn't look like anyone else is going to easily push those 1-4 pin anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's hand is killed here for one reason or another.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's the 3-pin Suji Uncle cut from Korak.
Mm-hmm.
If if
Yeah.
Korak had a lot more discards, we might see the 1-pin, 1 chance come out at some point, but there we go. Peaceful ending for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 10 1K off goes to Viet as we repeat the dealership.
And this hand is fairly interesting. You can see shifts into 789 Sanchoku. We already have a Dora in a decent shape. Over on the right, we already have Ishanten, though. It looks like Matthew has... it would be a Richinomi at the moment, but there's some ways to make it a little more expensive. You can draw Dora, for example, and get a 3-sided weight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we actually see Matthew get rid of the one pin from the Arianman shape, the 1-1-2-3, in order to chase after a
リーチ
sticky Ishanten. She
Mm-hmm.
gets very fast.
Yeah.
So we have a Richi Nomi on an 8-mon. Now this is a case where I also am a very greedy player, and I would consider, not taking this Richi instead. If you wanted to go ultimate greed, dropping the 1-2-3 pin and looking for Honitsu.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think that's maybe the best move, but something like dropping 9-mon is also an option, and looking for upgrades around the Manzu shapes. I'd be happy to take a Furitan 3-sided wait if I can wait on the Dora, for example.
Yeah.
It feels like there's maybe a little more potential, but the North Anko does add some Fu. So on
It
a
does.
sumo, you get 40 Fu as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's still 1300 if it's a Richinomi, though, is not fantastic, but if it moves things along and you get a Richi stick, not bad.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna go for the odd, thinking that there's still a west wind in the wall.
There is
Uh,
still a west wind in the.
in
There
the wall.
are.
It might be in the dead wall.
If it's in the
If you know
dead
what I
wall, you
mean.
have a 1/13th chance of it being in the right spot, and
Oof, oof.
リーチ
that's what
Okay.
Matthew would
Now
love to see,
chase
but
this if I'm correct.
be a 1-4 so wait. It's waiting on two different Genbutsu, but the 3 so as the declaration tile does make that look a little bit suspicious.
Yeah.
A more
Obviously,
surefire
like,
way,
would
yeah.
you be going would you be going for the Dama to basically see if the Gematsu comes out, or would you rather go for the Lychee for a pinful dollar one?
So if
Because
you
if you're
take
going
the
first, it's
Dama,
the obvious Lychee
yeah, if you
if it's
take the
pinful
Dama,
dollar
you
one.
get 4,300 because of the two Reaches sticks in the repeat, and you imagine you could win it very easily. So that's an option, but I think Korik being a more aggressive player and the points being relatively even has incentive to push for
Mm.
higher value.
That seven
And in
man
some
might come out
cases,
for a Lychee for three-way Lychee here. It might be a three-way Lychee. What would the Luno do here? Okay, decides
I
to
think
not go for it.
I think
Okay.
you have to reach here. I think that's a mistake because you have two Dora.
I
Or a
mean
chance
one
for two Dora
one.
and Ipeiko.
Yeah,
It's a
chance.
Mangan chance.
Okay. Now what you do?
And now what?
Yeah,
And this is
ドン
okay.
how.
This is how it works out. The
Yeah.
Lichinomi and the Ulawan, not as big as I anticipated, but still good enough to drag to double his point tally.
Yep. And Quark takes another early last. Starts with an interesting hand though.
カン
It's a Ankon of the South. A lot of people uh, are somewhat hesitant to take a con so early, but statistically, this is quite a nice move because it gives you so much fu that with those Dora 2 that he just flipped, he's guaranteed a Mangan.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ankon of a terminal or honor pretty much puts you up by 1 Han instantly, so doing it early is not the worst idea if you don't have to play defensively yet.
yeah.
And there we go, already 2 Shanten. What else do we have around the table? The dealer's hand is quite nice as well. Also 2 Shanten with a chance to shift over to Itsu.
Hmm.
And now 8 Shanten. Will we see the 4-mon drop or the 1-so drop? Matthew prioritizes the efficiency here. And there's still
Yeah.
chances for value with the 3-4-5 Sanshoku shift.
Hmm.
Or the Dora. There you go. Well, yeah, interesting point here that that was brought up by Nathaniel in the stage curtains. Is that Korak decided to drop the 4-pin, getting
Yeah.
rid of the 2 pairs to go for a 4-5-6 Sanshoku, and
Hmm.
it might pan out like that. That would make the hand callable. That's an interesting thing here. With the Ankon, you're like, oh, I got a Ricci, but you also have 3 Doras, so if you can get a Yaku like that, it's very well worth the slight efficiency cut.
Yeah, of course.
Well, there's a slight improvement over on the left for Viet, who has a perfect Ishan 10 and has upgraded that Kanchan shape slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Viet 10, even if it ends as a Reichinome, you're almost always going to take it because the Uradora chances are quite nice.
Yeah.
Each.
There's Tenpai for Korak, and it is an expensive one. He jams the button, hoping to move this up to a Hanuman. Right now,
Yeah.
it's
So
Ricci, Dora 3.
yeah. So you have one Foso and one Sevenso in the wall, and the Foso will be a Takame for Senshoku. Dora 1, 2, 3. That will be a
And then
Hanuman.
from there, and with a Sumo plus a single Ura, we see a Baiman chance. 1 4 so left in the wall, 1 7 so left.
Yeah. This does get me excited, and we can see
Reach.
that Matthew is also Tenpai, waiting for the contract 6 months.
Chi.
This is a case
Also one in the
where,
wall.
yeah, this is a case
Here
where you don't.
Zilong gets rid of the Ipat's chances.
Yeah, and Zilong is also Ishan 10, so if for somehow the 8-mon becomes a safe tile, you can push there.
Yeah.
And there we go. 3-mon
But
Tenpai
Eman
for
push is
Zilong.
not safe to the dealer, but it does move Zilong to a Tenpai for $2 $2 Tong here. For a Penchant 3-man, which might
9 pin.
yes, now one in the
Or
wall here.
2-mon, yeah. Sorry, 2-mon just passed.
Yeah.
9 pin should
Sumo.
be a fine
That
push.
Foso Tsumo!
Oh, does he get the Ura?
What's the
It's
Uradora?
important.
What's the Uradora? And Uraso!
Ura-san!
That is the
Ormon and
Baiman
1-mon.
that gets Matthew cocked as we want to E3 with a giant lead
Home.
for Korak
And
here, keeping everyone else below the 30k mark.
yeah, and that's why you Ricci in like a league setting or a tournament setting. You're going for those big point wins, whereas like in a game, if you had say a Dama Bangan / Hanuman chance, you might just do that instead if the results didn't matter past that game. So it's Korak showing his experience, and I mean, how can you resist with the chance for a Baimon?
Yeah. And Korak goes for it, and he gets it. What a great play from Korak. Sumo's the Takame with the Urasan. Like, Yasume Takame doesn't matter, it's Yakuma either way, but drawing the Takame for the Sachu just makes you feel so much better.
Absolutely. And going into this hand, players are going to have to think about how they're going to make that gap up. Luckily, it's only East 3. Door is a little
Absolutely.
hard to use for everyone in this round. It generally will form a bad shape, and there's 2 8-pins gone. And the dealer's hand is very fast. Already 2 Shanten with 4
Yeah,
Rin and
speaking of
Zenchi
fast
pairs.
hands, we have Master already Tenpai here for a 1 Foso for Painomi.
Dom.
And Foso does come out instantly from Korak. That's recoup the stake he lost in the earlier round.
I think maybe later in the season, I'd say that Matthew should be pushing for more value, being in the demotion zone right now. Maybe even now, you could say perhaps aiming to do less than just catch up with third place and avoid fourth would be good. But it might be hard to do that in general,
Home.
especially if you're a more call-oriented player. Um, it's definitely a skill to call and build value as you call. Um, calling judgment is difficult for that reason, because it tends to
Yeah,
cheapen the hands.
yeah. I agree with you on this one. Like you have to strike a balance between calling for faster hand or building your value up.
カン
Okay, cons for it. Now the new draw is 5 man.
That bears
That
fruits.
three
That
man draw
gives
is marvelous from Korak, connects everything up.
the best draw for Matthew here would be a 5-mon because it not only gives him a 3-sided weight, but a chance for a Mongon if he can get another Thedora.
Yeah. And how many 5 mans? And we have what 3
チ
5 mans in the wall. Okay. Now Maxi Tree into Tempai for a chance of hard to draw one, I suppose. 244.
Could actually be Hatsudora 2 on the 5-mon because 4-mon is also.
Oh yeah. So it will be 344, 50, 200 if he gets the hand.
Yeah, definitely significant given these point standings.
Mm-hmm. Now the 8 man might come out for the Yasume.
I'm
So
sort of
now it's
surprised
just 5 man that's available in the wall, and it's still still 3 of them. Not in any player's hand. All the 8 mans are out already.
that 8-mon in Viet's hand is fairly loose, though. We could see that come out easily.
Mm-hmm.
The one kind of scary thing for Viet, if you're thinking about his perspective, though, is that you see the cuts 2 so 2 pin, east 4 so chun, 4 so 2 mon, 3 mon, and there's a chi. And you think, could this possibly be a Honitsu that has overflowed?
Yeah, of course, like it's especially when you are playing in this division. Like you have to have that sense of like the alertness to any possible big hand that someone might be cooking.
Now, if you're being like super duper advanced, and this is unreliable, but if when Viet tossed the 8 so, he
リー
felt
チ
lag on it. That is,
Oh yeah.
Matthew didn't turn off
Now
the calls.
Zhelong
チ
goes for the main pin for 4-7 Soul Lishi. 7
ドン
Soul does come out instantly from Korak.
Yeah,
And
that was a rough one because
Uranashi.
the 8, yeah, the 8-6 so was Sakigiri from Zalong's hand, so the 7 so looked like it might possibly pass. Another option there is to cut 9 pin if you want to shove for Tanyao, but I think that Korak valued the Tenpai and the chance to repeat more than the Tanyao.
Yeah.
ポン
Just to finish what I was going to say earlier, because I started to ramble about it, is in some cases, if you trust your lag reading, that is
Mm-hmm.
the amount of time it takes a person to pass a call. There are some cases where you're fighting a hand that might be Honitsu, and there's lag on a tile that can't be pawned, for example, that's not in that suit.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're certain it's not fake lag from the game, you can say, that person has a way to call this tile. They can't have Honitsu Tenpai yet. They have at least 2 tiles in the other suits. I can continue to push against them. And there's funny things you can do like that in online Mahjong.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't rely on any of them. I like using lag reading. One actually useful way to do it is if you have a
ポン
hand that you're not necessarily going to call, and you turn off
Mm-hmm.
the calls, and then someone drops a tile that you would like, and it pauses for a while, there's only
Mm-hmm.
one copy left because someone had the chance to pawn it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's specifically only from the player on your left.
チ
So there's been a few times back when I was playing in the season that happened, and people are like, "Why is he dropping that? How does he know it's gone?" And that's one of the ways you can know. That being
Mm-hmm.
said, I don't think that's what happened here.
Yeah.
Now that I'm done with that silliness, let's get back to the game. Korak has called twice and is Ish on 10, looking for a pair for a Chundora 1.
Mm-hmm. It may well be a Chanta Senshoku if somehow he's lucky. He just needs to find that pair. That 9 sword discount might hurt Korak in the long run, but Again, if you get a Chundra 1, that's enough for core at this stage. You just want to extend, basically cut everyone else's dealership, like make sure that your lead doesn't get affected. Where you have Red Panda, Viet already turned back for Tuso,
相撲
and that's get it
And there
instantly.
you go. It's a cheap hand, but it puts him over 30k and gives him the repeat.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a rough one.
Or might consider going for the Chantai route, or just any other player in my whatever in my league. No, just go for the whatever. What's that, Kokushi? Eh? Go for the Kokushi. Jam Kokushi. Jam Kokushi,
Yeah, I
and when
think if I
somebody
was
throws the stake out, you fold.
I think if I was a little further behind and I wasn't the dealer, I would consider going for Chanta, especially since it can use the north easily. Over here, though, I think with now with how the hand has progressed, we can see a Pinfu and Tonki
Yeah.
on the north if we don't pair it up before then.
Yeah.
Or in this case, pair up Yakuhai and prepare to call.
Mm-hmm.
The other hands are decent, but it's really Matthews that stands out here. He has some, just at a glance, a 2-shanten hand. It's not very expensive, but could transition into Tanya, maybe an Ipiko in the Pinzu.
Mm.
It has some room to wiggle around for now. So similarly, Korak's hand has grown a bit and now has the chance for the 3-4-5 Sanshoku and Pinfu.
Yeah. Let's get a 4-man for the pair. Discuss the 5. So locks up the 3-4-5 maybe.
So the question for me is now, where are the Hatsu? Because Viet can very easily call for a Hatsudora 2 on a good weight now.
Mm-hmm.
Ishan 10 for Korak, looking for 3-pin and 6-pin. There's a bit of Nidoke or double dependency on the 3-pin there. Viet deciding whether to pawn or not and passes it. I think in this case, if you pawn here, it puts people on guard too much and you're probably not going to expect to see the Hatsu unless you draw it yourself. And over here, we might even see a Dama because it will be a dealer 7,700. But decides to retreat looking for the other north.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about this one. But it does give you a higher value on the Hatsu, or higher expected value with the Hatsu, I think.
Yeah, of course. And plus, you don't get a lot of better weight on around the 8. So nevertheless, rather than waiting for 7, so for a Pinfu, then why not wait for a Hatsu for a Sumo or whatever, Sumo Dora 2, Hatsu A, for that manga hand already. Like, there's no point in waiting for like an upgrade around the 8 so anyways.
I think given how defensive these players are, I'm willing to overlook the chance to win on a Dora with the Ricci, because I don't expect it to come out anyways, and I can just sumo it for Sumo.
Oh yeah, now all the weights are dead in the wall.
Sumo Hatsu or Sumo Hatsu or Sumo Dora 3. Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's a case like this where I want to avoid.
But on the other hand, you're killing off the hopes of either Zelon or Matthew building up their hand because they have to discard all of those dangerous on the tiles, and they were certainly unwilling to do that.
It's true, but
it's
that's
all
the
up to
problem for me.
Korak.
I think that's the problem for me. I'd rather get the 7,700 and increase the win rate than go for a higher value hand.
I mean,
if
it
there
comes
was,
back
I think
again.
if both, yeah.
I mean, it comes back again to the players being defensive, like especially at the later stage of the game, they wouldn't discard the Hatsu even if you choose to Dama.
But at the other hand, if they progress their hands, they might do it anyway. Given that the Dora is relatively hard for people to use. I think, at least at the time,
Yeah.
Viet's discards were fairly innocuous. But yeah, I think that that'll come down to playstyle a lot. I'd be interested to see
Yeah, I think I'm more
what some
towards
professionals
I'm
said.
more leaning towards the Lychee side because again, as you said, that the players are being defensive, they wouldn't steal the honor tiles either way, even if you choose to Dama. But if you Lychee, it kind of like scares the players off, and you end up with 100 points, right? Either way, so like it's not that bad for Viet as he puts Korra under striking range.
And yeah, 33,100 is a good place to be. This hand is already Ishanten for Dora 1.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else fast enough here? Looks like on the right is also Ishanten for Go Dora 1. Possible
Now
Richi.
Tempa already?
And this is, I think, a fast Richi on the 3-pin.
Yeah, chooses to go for the Shampoo. See left in the wall.
Yeah, there's a couple things going for you here. One, if you draw the 9-pin and discard it, it sets up a Nakasuji trap. And then two, if people discard the safe 3-pin, it creates a Kabe and the 1-pin comes out more easily.
Yeah.
It's also just more tiles than the 2-pin weight that's already once dropped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now let's see how the other players deal with this early Lychee here. The one pin being picked up by Messi decides not to throw it out for now. But as we see 3 pins coming out, it might be another matter because you can see that Messi doesn't have a lot of safe tiles in his hand. Like his
Yeah,
hand is
it's
full
really
of those who none of them are out.
it's really going to come down to how much information is revealed in the next couple of
Yeah, the
turns.
7-pin, yeah, 7-pin really does wonders, you know, like save for at least another 2 turns. And the Fosso as well,
Other,
like, yeah, another safe tile.
if
Yeah.
people are reading really far ahead, they say 3 of the 7 pins, 3 of the 8 pins, and the 3-pin Suji has passed. So it's not a 3-6 pin weight, and the 6-9 pin weight is now no chance since that 7
Yeah,
pin came out. So the 6 pin is actually a lot easier to cut here if you're running out of safety.
absolutely. But for the players, I think like there are some safer options than 6 so at the moment, so we won't see them coming out anytime soon.
Exactly. It's
Yeah, with
it
the
would
tone
only really
here,
happen if people
yeah,
start to push.
yeah, I don't think they're pushing, But
Yeah, I
one
don't see that
1 pin
happening.
and 6 pin, they're both dead in the wall, so it's really up to whatever. It's really up to the other players to see if they can actually deal in.
And not the
Or it
worst
might
result
be
again.
another, or it might be another 100 points for Viet, which is
Yes.
what you want to see
It's
anyways. If you win
yeah.
the hand if you win the hand without the Ura Sumo set, it's like 2000. Oh yeah, that 6 pin comes out.
Wrong.
So it'll be 3900, slightly bigger than 3000, but yeah, no Ura, right? Yeah. Does overtake correct and is now first place.
And another decent hand with 1 mana as the Dora. Quick look around. Doesn't seem like anyone's hand is particularly too impressive. I mean, Cork has the chance to pull in the tune, and likely will, even though the hand is far away. That's kind of Korok's style. Call now, find out what else to do later.
Mm-hmm.
This can be a valuable strategy with faraway hands,
Home.
especially if you're going for Otozuke, because if it doesn't pan out, then you have safe tiles with
Mm-hmm.
the honors. But if it does work, then you have your Yaku set up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we see Korak take that quick pawn, looking to advance this hand. He knows that if he lets Viet continue this dealership, there's a real chance that he runs away with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Home.
Now Viet is Ishanten here for Chitoy.
Yeah. So from what we can see here, 5 pin is completely dead. 3 pin you have 2 in the wall, and then 1 soul you have 2 in the wall. I mean 1 in the wall here to complete the cheatway shape. That's from
Yeah,
what we
so
can
not
see.
great
VR cannot
chances
see
over
that.
here.
That 2-man
Oh, backfire on
instant
the 2
backfire
man.
there. But
I
what
mean,
else can you
obviously
do
you
here?
cut it over there because
Yeah.
of the 2 man you cut a few turns earlier than that, but yeah. All right, so this will be interesting here. Balance is the cheatway and normal hand.
Yeah.
So you
So
can now accept 3
if
soul and 5
Viet
man.
gets the 3 pin, would you rather if you get the 3 pin here as Viet, would you rather go for a normal hand or would you rather go for the cheatway hand?
Because the middle tile pairs that I have, the 3 soul and the 5 man, can change to Rianmans quite easily, I'd rather go for the normal hand and look for an upgrade. Dama for
Yeah,
an
so
upgrade there and go
Viet
for
does choose to
Pinfu.
go for the normal hand now. That's 7 my result in fully 10, but still chooses to wait for the normal hand rather than nevertheless.
This is an interesting one because the furry 10 isn't as good as it would normally be. There's already 3 of the 4 mon out. So it's the 5/6 shape is no better than a Kanchan. It's actually worse than a Kanchan. But the ability to chi back the 7 mon if, say, the player on your left thinks they're going to defend against you is useful. It's an interesting trick where you can keep Furitan
If that
blocks in the
7 man
hopes of
comes out,
chiing it back. I think we can see a chi here. Chi
Chi.
and drop 1 pin. And if oh, that's interesting. Perhaps, yeah, too scared of the Pinzu here. It is an expensive suit, and of course the player on our left looks like a possible Honitsu.
yeah.
But say it didn't look like a Honitsu, 1 pin is an interesting option because it's Tenpai, and it also gives you the chance to shift into Tanya with another 1 pin cut in the future.
Yeah. Now you can see the players really wary of the fact that someone might be holding all the pinzus here. So instead of the 5/7 pin here, Zedong decides to cut the 6/7 man.
リーチ
Gets rewarded with a 6 pin control draw here for a lychee for 1 man and Southwind. Now Southwind is one in the wall here. And now what we do?
Oh, this is rough against the Richi.
Yeah.
But yeah, taking the Tenpai is a fine option.
Yeah, like you have no option, right? Like
dealer.
it's dangerous either way.
If 2 pin passes, not only do you have Tenpai, but then you can shift through a few of the Pinzu and drop the 2 pin again.
Oh!
There's the south.
Yeah. Could have been a high take, but no. That's
Korak knows
Viet
I'm not
and
Tenpai, and there's
Zelo.
no way I'm dropping.
Yeah, not gonna drop it if you're not in Tenpai.
Alright, Dora is the 3, so a little bit more usable, and looks like 2 players already have that. Interesting start for Viet.
Yeah. Matthew has a Dora pair already, might be able to progress towards the Tanya shape.
Yes. You're going to prioritize the Tanya there, and with the pair of 2 mon, you don't worry as much about drawing the 1 mon. Or after calling, because you can always force Tanya with that. In fact, none of the blocks at the moment would take Tanya away from you. I think in the context of a more defensive player, I might have even, as Matthew dropped the 1 so to keep the north on the previous turn, because if I'm planning to use both Dora, I don't want to draw the 2 so and make that fill. I can already take 2 5 so with the 3 3 4 4 anyway. So I would probably drop the 1 so and prioritize keeping safety as I get ready to call this hand.
Yeah. Korra is Ishan turn as well here. and does have a Tan Yao.
Yeah. It's definitely a hand that he'll take the first call for. The gap between first and second is still close enough that he can afford to take a cheap hand, and he has a dealership
Pong.
left. Plus, it's the kind of hand where you feel if you don't call, your chances at winning, or even in some cases getting tempai, are a lot lower than a normal hand. It's three pairs, and you can get the Ipeiko waiting on the Dora, but it's going to be an awful wait.
Yeah, that is true.
So that would be a hand where I would take a Damamangan if I draw the 3 so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ishanten over on the right. That hand will accept a 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 so into Tempai and can be called on all of those.
Yeah.
And the dealer has Ishanten here now, deciding whether or not to get rid of this 9 so does.
Oh yeah, does get a 5 so here for a Tan Yao Dora too.
Very nice hand.
And Chito Ishanten from Zhelong decides not to get it.
I think I
Yeah. Now
I
the
think,
question is
Zhelong...
if correct decides to discard, okay, if correct decides to discard the 8 so would you as Messi would you pawn and discard 4 so for a chance to go for the mangan? Given that you had to gain more value being in the relegation zone.
It's hard to say there. I think the chance of running the 3 so is quite low compared to the 2 so. But honestly, everything is close to the Dora.
Yeah. For 369 so here against 69 ping against 25 so. So 3-way chase and that 6 so is might discard 4 so here.
Safe.
4 so yeah,
and then
4
you have
so
a
is
Mangan chance as well.
I mean not safe to the dealer, but still safer. That 9 so might come out though.
And the 8 so it looks live in the wall. There's one copy left.
Yeah, that 6 pin
is
still into the dealer.
Spin for Dora 1 Ura for Mangan.
Ura would be huge, isn't it?
Yeah. Even so, 49,100 in South 1 with everyone under 30k is nothing to laugh at.
Absolutely. Like, you had to feel a bit sympathetic towards Korak, like scoring that Baiman hand, and yet he's still now under 30,000.
So surely we should discard 7, 8 so here, go for the Minhorn Ishan 10 with the
I mean, it's Chito Ishan as well here.
Yeah, there was a moment there where Viet was probably thinking about discarding the Ton since it's twice cut already.
Yeah.
But if you decide to go for an open hand like this, you prefer the safety anyway.
Yep. Now, Matsu decides to cut the 6 man, maybe for some Dora acceptance around the 3 man here. Okay.
There's Ishanten.
Yep, Ishanten for 轰一次推推，轰一次推推雅库海。
So that was another tough choice for Viet there, specifically because you can keep the East for safety. You already have such lead. But if you keep the 8 pin, there's some nice upgrades with draws like the 7 pin to Ranman shapes if you don't care about the Toy Toy. And here is the...
Lychee from Messi waiting for 7 pin for Pinfu Nomi.
Oh,
now Tempai as well from Viet, so the 4 pin will be double wrong if someone decides to discard it, which I don't see that coming.
And this is a Haneman Tsumo if Viet manages to grab...
Yeah, for Sanko, eh?
4 pin. Yeah, Toy Toy Sananko, Honitsu, Hatsu.
Yeah, so one 4 pin
hand.
still in the wall. And one 7 pin left in the wall.
Interesting throw of the 3, so it's just a full fold, my bad. I completely forgot that Viet had dropped that 2 with the grayed out discards.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
Chance to con here. I don't think
Huh?
this is going to be taken,
Maybe
though.
not. If it's oh,
Uh, wow.
I mean he's temper already. Like if he gets another draw, then he'll take it.
Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance for it to go on to Baimon with a Rinch on Sumo or a Dora flip. That being said, the chances of that happening are low, and the Dora is unlikely to happen with a hand that is only 5 unique tiles. I think this is a case that, given Viet's lead, that might be a mistake. The Hatsu is just 100% safe, and even if you don't win this hand, you should be fine with that. It's nice to win it, obviously, and Viet is aiming for first in the division, but uh, it's nothing he
I mean,
can't
what
get in
else are you
another few
aiming for if you're
games.
in A1? Like, it's not just about promotion, demotion, or something like that.
Well, of
Like,
course.
think about it. It's
Home.
just one promotion spot. Like, in a sense, it's just one promotion spot to, let's say, the annual championship.
It's true. I just don't think that the con offers you enough of a
Or that
chance to
full
upgrade in value
paying
to be
gets
worth the
drawn
risk.
by the loan.
I think Zelong just has to fold here. Chun. Or Suji 7 so, for example, since that's safe
So
against the
yeah,
dealer.
yeah. So the good thing is that neither no players would deal in, like given if they fold nicely. Yeah, that's fold nicely.
Well, there we go. And everyone sees the horrors that could have happened and is very glad that it did not pan out.
Yeah. Looking across the table, we can see that Matthew might be going for the Honisu and take all the stakes.
Yeah, that's
2800
a
on the
definite
table.
option.
28,
And look at
2800 on
this.
the table. You surely want to finish the hand fast.
And it's a hand that is not only great because you can call for Yaku, but also has potential for a very large value.
Yeah, of course. And this is a hand that you can call and get great value, which suits Matthew's playstyle. I mean, which suits Matthew's playstyle really well.
Yeah. That being said, with this 7/8 so shape in place, then the chance to still get the tune for Yaku, plus because the dealer has called and is opening up for what could be a fast hand, the chances that it moves into Honitsu are slightly lowered now.
Yeah, truth is not to cheat for the 789 and discuss them immediately.
Oh wow, just forcing it in here then.
Yeah,
Fair enough, you also have the chance for Chitoi.
yeah, of course. And like by forcing it, like you can see, you have one man pair, 5-man pair, 789 man triplet, and the trim pair. So that last pair, it might be you can going for the tanky for the South Dora here to
Yeah,
deal maximum damage.
I'm curious how we deal with the South.
Yeah, now what to
Well,
do?
we'll see. I
It's
think
Chitoi Shanten though.
if we get Tenpai here for Chitoi,
Just stun the button, wait for the Dora.
should we? Do you think that's gonna come? Well, let's say we sumo it.
I bloody
It's a
hope
Menhon
so.
Chitoi. Menhon Chitoi Dora 2 is Hanemon, so we sumo it. It's a Baemon already, so it might be a hand where I Dama and go for the 12,000. I think you should probably reach it though.
Yeah, I mean, like
if you're in the second row.
that no one has discarded the Dora just yet. Okay, now what to do? Now what would you do? Like, should we discuss 789? Okay, that's fine. Like, might
Yeah, now
go
you
for
can
Tui
call this
Tui.
hand. Yeah, pawn of the north and the Chun is a fairly good option here.
That Chung might come out from Vietnam any second.
Chi.
Okay, Chi 6-man. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Now Ishanten, now slightly wider, to Shanten.
Home.
For normal hand, of course, but for Chi Tui, nah. Still Ishanten here. Maybe going for Tui
Yeah.
Tui Hong too. The problem is that Yaku Haichum is becoming increasingly dangerous from VS hand. Okay, does come out. Well, we can go for Tui Tui. Yes, he does go for the Tui Tui. The Suji 1-man. 2 incorrect hand should not come out.
Yeah, I
Whereas
think
5-man is dead as well in other players' hands. So
I think this tune was partially motivated by the fact that the 7/8 man was dropped. So perhaps Viet thought that there was also a chance of this just being a normal Toy Toy or a normal
Chi.
Yakuhai hand.
Yeah, fair
'Cause
enough.
that's
But
quite the overkill
Viet
for
is
Honitsu.
now
But
10 pi for 4-7 ping. 4 ping, there's one in the wall, and 7 ping, none left.
yeah, now that we're Tenpai, I think the Chun is justified. But prior to Tenpai, something like this, it feels like a way to get bopped out first place. But the first place is such a large lead now that perhaps that risk is worth
Yeah,
it.
that backfire
Not
for
sure.
discarding 4 man here. 4 ping is all gone here as well, so neither player will be able to 2-more their hand. And now it comes down to Korak to see if he decides to drop the 1-man here.
Yeah, it's Korak has the West, and then after the West, the 7th man, or before it, maybe saving the West for later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Korak actually probably doesn't care that much about the dealer's hand. 2 of the door are gone, and the dealer has called 3 times,
Yeah.
so you expect it to be cheap.
Yeah, honestly, that's just in Matthew's perspective. Like, would you rather go for let's say a 3-6 man wait for Hongi to churn 50-100, or would you rather go for the Toy Toy Mangan?
Come.
Oh, I think I'm fine with the Toy Toy Mangan in this case, just because he's behind by so much.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
either
the
way,
Mangan win will
you
definitely
probably
push
don't
him up to third
yeah.
place. Yes.
And you probably don't expect people to drop you live Manzu anyway, so going for the more expensive hand seems fine. You have a little bit longer to do it.
Yeah. So this is 7 Homba sells 1.
It's
Viet
very unusual
is dealing
situation.
mental damage to the to other players in the table.
It's a hand that can develop into Sanshoku, but you need to make 3 fills of bad shapes for it to happen at the moment. The 8
I
pin, the
mean,
7 so, and the 3 man, which is the door indicator.
yeah, Viet has made stuff happen, right?
He has. I think we're getting to a point, though, that we have diminishing returns unless you draw well like this.
Yeah, that's a
Home.
terrific draw. Isadora as well, the 3-man.
That's gonna be Ishan 10 for Matthew. Looking for
Ishanten
the
for Viet
2.
as well. Might just slash the button.
Ricci no
Like,
Ne on a
like if you
bad
get,
weight, but as the dealer. Ah, and
yeah,
the Dora
nah.
just passed as well, so you maybe feel a little bit more confident about it. If you drop the
Yeah,
7 pin, the 8 pin is also, at least from your perspective, partially walled off, so it's very hard for other people to use, and it looks a little
yeah,
bit more likely to get.
Home.
yeah. Now a
Especially
pawn
with the
from
9
Korea
pin pawn.
might be fishing for Hongitsu here. Hongitsu double Yaku high or something like that, if everything goes right.
Yeah, it's a Ishan 10 already.
Yeah.
So
Lychee.
while I'm
Lychee here, that 6-man
oh
instant
no.
Ricky part 2. So the long goes for Pinfu $1 Lychee, and that 6-man instantly comes into correct hand.
And that's what it takes, and Viet is out. 7 home, but your Ricci sticks, and the lead doesn't want to mess with this Ricci. And the Korak is unfortunately in a state where he's going to instantly take the
Sumo.
Tenpai.
Okay,
But it
that's
doesn't
2 more.
matter.
Yeah. 1326 with 7 home bar. As we
Yeah,
want to
that 52.
south 2. So
Yeah,
does bring
5200 becomes Mangan.
yeah. So that does bring Zilong into, let's say, a comfortable about 30k range.
Yeah, it definitely helps a little bit for the other players. Korak,
Yeah.
Home.
maybe not so large of a chance here, unless
Yeah.
he does
So
something during his dealership.
yeah. Yeah. Like a Uma sense. I mean, what's that? So like a Uma sense, like Viet has just lost like equivalent to a Mangan.
Yeah, And Viet
Home.
is like as before, just planning to move things along.
Home.
There's already 10 pi on the 8 pin. There's one left in the wall.
Home.
Yeah.
Pair of the 8 pin is going to be problematic, but he's going to swap to a Tunky here. That allows the hand to transition into a Honitsu and to change the weight around. There's 10 pi over on the right too. That would be Chun Dora 3. Scary, scary hand for the others. This
Yeah.
is the kind of thing Zilong needs to turn things around.
Yeah.
Come.
That is true. And
And
Kong chooses to go for the
oh,
Tanky weight
yeah, it draws into
as
the
well.
double south. So this is 3,
Yeah, so it's
4,
a
5, 6, 7,
Hardeman.
8. It's a Baimon, I think.
Is it a Baiman? Oh yeah, it's
One,
Toy Toy
two.
as well.
It's yeah, Toy Toy. 3, 4,
Holy
5, 6, 7,
moly.
8. Yeah. So now it just has to find a winning Tonki here.
Yeah, what's the winning Tanky here? 8, so still 2 in the wall here. Now, we can swap for Dora weight. Dora 2 will be equivalent to a Hongyi 2. Decides not
Oh,
to.
this I think Viet was making the read there. They're both the weights have the same amount out. The Dora is less likely to come out, so he wants to wait on the 9 pin, but the Dora against his hand that has Dora 3 showing and 3 calls is also very dangerous. And the 9 pin was safe, so it was a decision between those two. Going for the 9 pin because it's safe against that monster hand seems to be the reason it was taken.
Yeah, plus that 8 pin is a Dora anyway, so if that comes out, that is it's the same to having a Hongyi 2A.
Yes. And here we go, 9 Mon Tunky. And there's 2 left in the wall.
Yeah.
2 left.
Whereas you have VS switching. Okay, now might be waiting for the shark here.
Tanki. It goes up another 2 Han to Honitsu. Not that it matters, but yeah. I think that's
That shark
it.
Tanky might become a meme in a sense. Like
So
it's
this is a
memeable.
funny thing I was reading recently that when it comes to being on a Tanki, well, specifically a Hadaka Tanki, when you only have one left, so people know you're on a Tanki.
Oh yeah, now we can switch to a lemon weight. Choose not to, just false.
Yeah, sensible fold. But when you're on a Tunky, there's some funny things you can do, like switch to a worse Tunky, so people think, oh, he had that good
Oh,
Tunky,
that
then he couldn't possibly wait on this one. But it's going to be a full fold here.
Yeah, good, nice
Viet
fold.
knows better than to keep pushing.
Yeah. Good fold.
Oh, this 3. Considering the 3 pin for a second because it looks good, given that it's not out yet and a lot of the surrounding tiles are discarded. But you have to remember that people are only discarding the tiles around it because it's dangerous. They don't want to drop
Sumo.
it. Oh, and the right choice for a Paimon.
Yeah. Hong to not needed because it's 8 hand already. So that does set up Zhelong to first place as we move on to his dealership. So 2 Baimans already in this table, and surely we will see some more coming into the series.
Very exciting hand there.
Yeah, a really well juggling here to see Zhelong getting that Baiman hand. And it's also great to see that Viet being able to sense the danger one turn before he just gets that dangerous tile and being able to basically bear on nicely.
Well, it's suddenly a very close game for first place. Xinglong's hand over here is 3 Shanten, just through the door on north.
Yeah. So
And,
only one door being seen here at the moment. Really easy for Zedong to get a door up here. Might not need it for now, but he still needs another pair regardless. Might fish for E2 as well.
yeah, we have an Ishanten across the way for Viet. It's not very good at the moment. That being said,
Yeah, again, you don't need to
6
have
mon
a
and
really good weight. You just need to make sure that you pass on Zedong's dealership and then try to fish for the last hand to see if to put yourself in an advantageous position to get first place in or last.
That's true, but that being said, I do not think that Viet would take this Ricci on any of the Champon weights. The 9 pin, which is your best candidate to wait on, is once dead, and you have upgrades around all 3 middle tiles. At a glance, you only see upgrades around the 6-0 and 6 Mon, but if you're on a Champon with the 9-pin,
Yeah.
then the 6-pin frees up as well if you
Yeah,
discard the
so
9-pin.
discard the
So
six
there's a
pin
lot of
first
upgrades.
here. That's so that in case he has to wait for that rather awkward 3-man penchant wait, he can set up the Suji trap.
Yeah, so early Suji trap with a pair drop over here. The effectiveness of it is going to be diminished by the fact that 2-3 mons just came out, and the Richital will likely be around the Penchon wait. But that's not necessarily a problem. I think you can switch to Shampoo now. The 1-mon looks isolated with
Okay, now
a lot of the
Tenpai
3-mons and 2-mons
for
visible.
is it Tenpai? No, yeah. But
So
that's
close, but
give a route to E2.
yes. It's a fairly wide tempai. Sorry, Ishan Tensu. You get 4, 5, 6, 7 mon and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah,
9
now
pin.
the new door is 6 pin with the Chun Kang.
Yeah.
Now you really have no option
Sense.
if you lost your
Cheap.
dealership and you're like dead last.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder if we should have opened the hands, but it's
I
hard
mean,
to
essential
think
coup.
of another route of completing it.
Yeah, so the dealer has essential coup
No,
dollar
not.
1.
Sorry, I meant Matthew's hand
Okay,
because
that
he's very
19
far
instantly
behind.
comes out essential coup dollar 1.
Yeah, there we
And
go.
yeah,
2,900.
Zilong consolidates his lead. Now it's 8,000 point gap, with the dollar being 9 so. None of the player has at the moment.
Yeah, Matthew's in a really tough spot now because if you're thinking realistically about making it into third place and mitigating the damage, you really have to be aiming for a Mangan. So that con was a good effort to try and make that, but unfortunately the hand was a bit too slow.
Yeah, definitely. But like at the point, like you just lost the dealership, right? You only have like basically another maybe 2 games to see if you are able to overtake Korak.
Yeah,
And
so you're
if you
going to
get
aim for a 1-2
if you
finish.
get a Mangan here, that means that it will make your job a hell of a lot easier coming to our last.
Absolutely. You also have a slight advantage in that Korak is the last dealer, so he'll take a larger penalty if you sumo in the last hand. So the comeback is not impossible by any means, and this is a very good Ishan 10 for Matthew.
Yeah, you can see like say it's really easy to farm for Tan Yao, and if everything goes right, can juggle into a Sancho coup as well.
Yes, can get a
Okay,
Sancho,
now
but could
Tenpai don't.
potentially.
Yeah, so it's either Tan Yao or Dua 1, so it's literally painful, let's say 330 either way.
Yeah, and that 9 so is a rough draw for Korak, but he doesn't have any safety whatsoever. I might see a 2-mon, 1-mon cut here. Yeah. So 6-9 so it looks like there's 3 left in the wall.
Yeah.
1-6-0 to 9 so.
Yeah, but Urak here will be huge here. Like if he sumos, it will be 5,200. And then if he runs his 3,900 without the Radar Wizard, it will be manga either way.
Yes.
But now, Zhelong can just juggle into a Hong Yinsu in some sort. Like, but will he go for it? Maybe not. Like you don't want to fight against the fourth place.
Yeah. And it doesn't even really matter so much that it's 4th place that we're fighting about, more so than the fact that we're in 4th place with a comfortable gap now. So dealing in and decreasing that gap going into all last just invites more danger.
Okay, Tsumo. Ura 2 will be huge. What's the Ura? Ah.
Oh,
Screw that.
this is, but still, a significant catch-up, and we have a really interesting set of fights here. The fight for Void last and the fight for first. Quick pawn, aiming for
Absolutely.
Honi 2 with Korak.
Yeah,
Nothing
like,
else to do here.
Yeah, one good thing with Hong Yinsu is that you're pretty much destined to be able to keep that draw a Haku here. Like you're able to keep it either as like say a tanky tile or maybe just wait for it to pair up and you can inflict maximum damage with it.
And across the way, we're going to be looking for 2,800 points. That's a direct hit of 2 Han. Or Yeah,
2800
200.
and
We'll do it.
yeah, sumo 2k will be enough.
Yeah, sumo
Cause
2K would be enough as well.
Korra's a dealer, eh? But you really should be aiming for that 3 hand, just so that you don't have to just aim for Korra alone. Whereas Korra is
Yeah.
already enchanted for Honitsu with a
Oh.
with
So
confirmed Mangan here, a hard crew will be a Hardeman, and that
I
will
think this
instantly
is
put him back to title race.
yeah, and I think this is a case where we're going to be looking for the weight upgrade. We don't want to be waiting on. We're going to take the chi here, chi and deal 3-pin.
3 pin or 2 pin?
Uh,
Yeah, 3 pin.
3-pin. Yeah, going for the better way. Otherwise, you don't take the chi.
Yeah, I mean it's Mangan either way.
So let's see. 1-pin is surprisingly 3 left in the wall. I now discard the 2-pin from the hand.
Yeah.
And this is I would discard 2-pin from the hand. That's more fun. Because then it looks like you cheat and you dropped a 2-3 pin, so why would you be waiting on the 1-4 pin and have another 2-3 pin, right?
Yeah. I mean, he cheat 2 pin, drop 3 pin first. He
It
draw
might
another
be
2 pin, which is
some.
not needed at all.
It's a it's a
Each.
little bit of camouflage like that.
Yeah, I mean
But
it
it
is.
doesn't make a
But like,
difference as long
okay,
as you're
now
dropping it.
cheat to Elichi coming from Viet. Just want to get the first place, take the first place from Zero.
Chi.
Yeah, 7 Sotanki
Sumo.
is
Oh, that's more from correct. A nice cheat coming from Zero, but it doesn't matter. Just put Korra back in the contention for first. So for my student, what kind of rock can you go for? Like maybe a Su ankle? Like what kind of other things can you do to come back into this game?
so Matthew has a 19,800 point gap, so it needs to be a direct hit Haneman.
Yeah, or
How
like
do we
shall we
get
just
Haneman with the hand?
Home.
yeah, with that hand maybe not. So why not just try to see if you can somehow make a Su ankle or something like that? You know, just
Oh,
if
I
you are
could
gonna
see
dream, why
one
not dream
path
it
to
big?
Haneman. This
Pardon?
is Chitoe Dora 2 on a good direct hit, but it's very rough either way. So I think with this hand, I might have considered as Matthew aiming for the far away Honitsu with the Dora, while keeping the 3-pin pair for a Chitoe. And then is a Baimon Sumo enough? That's 16k plus another 8k for 24k. That would do it as well. So Chitoe Baimon Sumo is also fine.
Yeah,
Chi.
definitely. But Matthew again decides to open his hand. Just wants to just wants to drag Korra below 30,000 maybe, 30,000 maybe.
Hmm. Oh, there's another Dora. That's cool.
Yeah. Like one thing to consider is that if like say Matthew Tsumo's that hand, Korra will be below 30,000, and that recoups some of the Wuma in this game.
Exactly. That's always another consideration if it seems impossible to make a comeback here. It's just incredibly rough for Matthew given the position he's already in, going halfway through the season at minus 104 to be taking another last place here.
Yeah.
But you know, like I've been
Whereas
saying
Viet
again
is
and
already
again,
Toy
12 games
enchanted.
left. Yeah.
The problem is that okay now Tenpai 6 months
So
South Wing.
Atsuzuke. So can
Okay,
only win
decides not
on
to
the
take it.
south. Decides not to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like
Viet is looking
he
for a comeback hand.
yeah. So he's fixed on the Toy's double south here.
I understand the aim of the going for first here,
Of course,
but
like what else to fight for?
Korak is very close behind.
Yeah.
That's the danger here. Getting the double south hand here would net you. Let's see, that's 8.
Yeah, if I
16,
mean a two more Toy double
20.
south, it will
Home.
be enough
It
to
would
take
go up
first
to.
place.
It would go up to. Yeah, it would go up to 50 fu on a sumo of the south if
Yeah, but
this
still,
hand
if
wins.
it's still forehand. It's still forehand.
Well, now it is. But I was saying if you took the tempai earlier.
Yeah.
On the, that was always
Um.
a
whe-
chance.
Whereas now,
I'm trying
if
to
you
think.
Yeah, if you get the 6-man, it will be totally normy. And
Yes, that's the other thing, and it's hard to pass that. You have to consider whether this bump into first is going to make or break your season with 12 games left, or if you're willing to risk third place for it.
I
And
mean,
there's a
even if you unless you let's say directly dealing your core against a Hanima or something like that, he'll be about 30,000. So it's still a positive Uma, even if he's third place.
exactly. Well, it's not really a worthwhile game if you're in third, though. It's almost nothing.
That South might come out.
Oh, the South. I don't think you can push this as first
No,
place,
no,
though.
no, 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 no. Okay, 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 okay. Fine now.
No way. Okan, and that's gonna give
Correct himself,
Horek,
Fedora.
yeah, and he's gonna have drive to push this Haku now, because it passed before. It was just completely live. Only a couple draws left though.
Mm.
Looking for
So
that
there's
chi.
still a South within the wall. Like, what if he Tumo six man?
I think you just
That would be
have to
50.
take it.
That would be 2600, but it's not enough.
It isn't enough, but I think there's
Okay, that's 6 man.
not a
Yeah, nah.
100% chance that Quark is Tenpai here.
Yeah, that will be it.
All right.
Yeah. So
Well,
correct.
nice
Now
attempt
template.
at a
So
comeback from
he
Matthew.
does fall below 3000. So Matthew does didn't get that extra 5 Uma penalty. Whereas Salon first place plus 26.8. We at second place plus 12. Correct, who got the buyman still finished third place, 2900. I mean 29,000 -6. And Matthew unfortunately didn't go well in this hand, so ended up with a negative 32.8, plunging in the relegation zone of A1
Yeah.
division. But
So
in a
like
sense
over
that I think
here,
to be able to play in A1 itself is a compliment to your skill already. So even if you go down after the season, you can always fight back up and use that as an experience as a motivation to basically help yourself in the future seasons. Because A1 is such a cruel league, like with 20 players and 5 demotion spots. Like one bad run and you can see yourself deep into the relegation rabbit hole.
yeah. So over here, Via ends up getting a pretty good second place. If you consider him winning the Yasume side of the hand with the 6-man, he'd make almost as much as first place did this game. So that's why I'm fine taking it. I'm not gonna push the high hull to get
Yeah.
first place when the UMA difference is not something larger like 30-10. But I can
Mm-hmm.
certainly see the drive to push there. Right now,
Yeah,
he
of
rests in a
course.
comfortable third place after that game, with 12 games left. It's very realistic for him to catch up to Dustin, especially if Dustin takes a few spills.
Yeah, but
Let's
look
see
at
if they're
Dustin's
going
win rate
into.
and his hand value. That's insane with a 25.9 win rate while maintaining a 7400 average value.
Yes,
Like,
and the deal. Uh, yeah, yeah. As we're being told from behind, he did win a Yakuman hand there. The deal-in rate is quite high, actually,
it
for
is like it is
25%.
from an A1
It's
player.
pretty much at the
It's higher than league
cusp of what
average,
you'd
mate. It's higher than league average,
yeah.
but yeah, again, like sometimes it might be just the player being a bit aggressive and then goes for the Lychee and somehow lost. Like, I think you have
It's
to consider
yeah.
in a multitude of things.
It's really important to consider there that these stats are based entirely off of 12 games. So I would not use them as a very good metric for
Yeah.
a player's
The
skill or
12
what they're
games
good or
might not
bad
be a
at.
reflection of the player as a whole or his playstyle or anything, but it does reflect how the player, how the player has basically endured the season in a sense that, how his luck compared to the rest of the players maybe, how he maybe if he's more aggressive, in certain situations as we see from the other players and stuff. And by the way, Eric, do we have another game to watch or that'll be it for today?
Well, let's figure that out. Well, we have just been told from the shadows that we do not have another game at the moment, so I think that's going to be it. But those were a couple of very exciting matches. Those two
Yeah,
Baimons in the last Hanshan were really something to watch. Very cool
of
dynamics
course.
between all the players as well.
Of course, and plus the 7 home, but It
Yeah,
really
that
drags the
was
game along, eh?
almost a Paren-chan if you play with that local Yaku. Very cool
I mean,
stuff.
for Palanquin, do you have to win every single hand, or like do you just need a homebot stakes?
It depends on the rule set. Some of them are more strict than others. Like the one I use at home, you have to win all the hands. It can't be draws at all. And you must do it starting as the dealer. Um, but it is quite unusual to use anyway. That being said, I think we're going to wrap things up here. Thank you all for watching. Of course, if you are new to ARMRL, be sure to check out our socials at American Ricci, americanricci.org, where we'll have links to our Discord server, as well as our YouTube for past videos. Um, a new season will be starting in the spring, but now is a chance to join, maybe play with some of the other players before the March 11th start date commences. Um, Really good seeing you all again tonight. Thank you so much being here with me as my co-commentator, Jackie. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Yeah, thank you. And just a reminder to you that just as you just as you like you say stand up, right? Like basically as a conventional rule, we are following the European model in which we start from the lowest division. So if you don't want to miss out, if you don't want to end up in, let's say, Delta or whatever Echo Foxtrot divisions, then sign up now and you'll be at least in C2. We are still pending the organizer to see whether we'll be forming a new division. But if you sign up now, you'll be at least placed into C2. That's from what I know. So if you haven't done so already, just go to americanlychee.org. You have all the instruction there. Fill in the form and join the Discord server, and you'll be ready to go. And if somebody chooses not to play, or if there's another reason, you can come in as a sub to see what it's all about. You might be able to start in an A1 game with all those players you are seeing today. All those like brilliant, marvelous, magnificent players to be able to play with them side by side. And if you don't get to play in the actual league, you get to you get to place in the practice lobby. And if you don't want to be in the practice lobby, you can there are also Mahjong pros come into our sessions to be able to analyze your log and see how you can be better. So even the spring season doesn't start now, at least until March. You try now, and you can still be able to benefit from everything that we still offer. And yes, I'm not from America, but I still get a lot from those things.
Yeah, or as Jackie said, we're welcome to anyone. There's something for everyone who wants to join, regardless of whether you're competitive or not. So check us out, please.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Other than
please
that,
do.
I think we're gonna call it here. It's
Yeah.
been good being with you again, and good night from New York.
Good night from what's that? New Zealand. Hey, that's me. Yeah, we are still summer.